All right. Hey, gang, I hope you're all doing well. Coach Jason here. Today, we're going to talk about 6 workouts to help you achieve a sub 4-hour marathon. 6 workouts, strategies. And we started at sub 5 hours. We went to sub 4:30. We're going to go to sub 3:30, sub 3, sub 2:30, and going to work our way even faster if anybody wants it. So something to keep in mind. And keep in mind, all this stuff that we're doing is interchangeable. Whether it's sub 5 hours, so meaning what I mean by that is the workouts here for sub 4 hours, you can use a sub 3:30, sub 4:30, sub 5 hours. It's just a matter of changing volume, intensity, and this is where coaching with your eyes is important. I mention this a lot. It's just as important as coaching with your stopwatch, right? It's importance of taking notes and writing down what you do with your athletes, or whether you're self-coaching, doing it yourself, so you can go back and use a reference point to see, okay, I built from here. This is what I can do. I want to try. So it gives you something to use as a platform. And I highly encourage that stuff. And again, we're going to continue to do this series. Remember, I've got memberships available. So for those who want direct access to me with the Zooms and want to break down your training or training of your athletes that you coach, take a look at them. They're available to you. And, and again, you have direct access to me. Even those that don't have memberships have direct access to me. But members have live streams and Zooms available as well. But blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com is my direct email. You can reach out to me with any questions. I always respond to people. And for whatever, if you're training for 800 mile, 3K marathon, it doesn't matter. I have 400 videos for you for free at your disposal. So I hope that you enjoy them. If you do, please subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And please share this with other athletes and coaches and hit the thumbs up too. It's a gesture that you find the content valuable and enjoyable and helpful. And I really appreciate that. It motivates me to continue to put it out. So with that, let's get to these. Okay, 6 workouts and strategies. These are workouts that I've used but 2 decades as a coach with success. So obviously the long run is one of the key important pieces of marathon training. Building towards 18 to 20 miles at this point. Some folks can go beyond 20 depending on what they can handle. So, but this is where, again, eyeballing and how well you recover and what you can tolerate in terms of volume is, and your age and experience and so on. They're all factored into this. Okay, but there's variations of the long run. There's flat, rolling, and progression. Depends on the type of marathon you're training for too. So if you're training for a flat marathon, the majority of your long run should be on a flat. That way you can lock into paces and whatnot, but do not ignore rolling long runs either. Some of them should be incorporated in there as well as a way of building leg strength and whatnot. If your marathon's rolling mostly, the majority of the long run should be rolling as well. So get used to fluctuation of pace and whatnot. It just gets you familiar with those types of uncertain situations, uncertain pace ranges. Now, progression too, whether it's each 5 miles getting faster or whether it's, let's just say it's 20-mile long run. You do the first 10 miles at an easy, steady pace and the last 10 at goal marathon pace. Or you do the first 10 miles at goal marathon pace, or you do the middle 10 miles. You can break it out any way you like, but it's important to know what it feels like running marathon pace no matter where in the long run it is, so you know exactly what to expect when it comes to the marathon race day. So I highly encourage you to alternate these things. But building between flat, rolling, and progression is a great way to have multiple options, and I would encourage you to utilize all of them. If you're a coach, I would encourage you to prescribe all of them where you see fit. Okay, next up is a 3-mile tempo at 8:23 to 8:25 per mile. It's a tempo pace. Okay, slightly faster than half marathon pace. You take a 4-minute active recovery, and then you're just going to do 10 times a 400 after with a 1-minute recovery at 210 to 204 per rep. So basically progressing from 10K pace down to maybe 5K pace or somewhere around there. Great way of adding speed component at the end of a tempo. So you never know what to expect in these marathon paces, but both of these pieces of training are valuable nuggets of training when you're running this longer, when you train for these longer races. So you got your tempo and then your speed component. It also teaches you how to accelerate the latter part of a workout or a race. So it's something to keep in mind as well. Next up is a speed fartlek. This is one of the most important things of training. I can't emphasize this enough. And I use this for everybody that I coach for the marathon. I prescribe a speed fartlek. Okay. And they've worked tremendously, because it helps them with their running cadence and their running posture, right? And become more efficient. And the more efficient you become, the better off you're going to be in these long races like the half marathon and the marathon. So here, you're doing it twice, okay? And there's a couple different ways you can do it. So you can repeat the same workout and do it faster or cut the recovery, or you can add volume to the workout like I'm doing here, and we'll go over this now. The first workout's early to mid-season. Second one's mid to late season. But again, you plug it in as you see fit. It's also a great workout to do after a very long workout or a simulation or something like that. Cut it back, put the speed back in the legs. So here is building towards 20 times 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. The hard efforts are at 8:40 to 8:15 per mile, or for those that prefer kilometers, 5:23 to 5:08 per kilometer. Okay, so you're running 20 minutes hard, 20 minutes easy, and it's excuse me, either sandwiched between a warm up and a cool down, or you can do it in as terms of a long intermediate continuous run, like a 12, 13, 14 mile, whatever. If you do continuous runs or intermediate runs, you can plug that in there as well. Then we're building towards 20 times 130 hard and 130 easy. So now you're doing 30 minutes hard and 30 minutes easy. The same 840, 815 per mile pace, or 523 to 508 per kilometer. So we're adding that speed, the volume of that speed at basically half marathon down to 10K pace. Okay. It's a great way of incorporating a good short workout. And not everything needs to be long. Okay. Incorporating these things are very, very important to the training as well. Next up, we have a more of a staple. Okay, this is a little bit more voluminous, but 3 times a 2 mile effort at marathon pace. So it's 857, 858 per mile, marathon pace, or 534, 535 per kilometer. Okay, you take a 3-minute recovery after each one, and then at the end you do a 1 mile effort at half marathon pace, which is 840 to 841 per mile, 523 to 524 per kilometer. So it's 7 miles worth of hard running, and again, appropriate volume. Sometimes folks do more, sometimes folks do less. This is a good workout as well to kind of drill in half marathon pace into the legs, and then do something a little bit faster towards the end. Now this one here is a good workout that I do. It's 800-meter repeats. It's slightly faster than the VO2 max, which we'll get to next. But this workout's done 4 times. Let's say you give yourself 15 weeks or 16 weeks for the half marathon. This is a workout you do every 3 weeks. If you give yourself 12 weeks, you do it every 2 weeks. So the first time you're doing 4 times in 800 with a 2-minute recovery, and the goal is to run them at 355 to 356 per rep. So it's slightly faster than VO2 max running, but I'm basically plugging this in and designing the training so that you can build towards a 355. When I say sub 4 hours, I don't mean 359.50. 355, so that if you have an off day and you're off by a few minutes, you can still achieve your goal. And that's why I'm building this training around there, all around like this stuff. So the first time you're doing 4 of them at a 355 to 356, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, you're doing 6 of them. 2 or 3 weeks later, you're doing 8 of them, and then finally 2 or 3 weeks later, you're doing 10 of those reps at 355 to 356 per rep. It's more than a minute faster per mile than goal marathon pace, but it's nothing you can't handle when you become fit. So that's a good workout as well. And lastly, to compliment you, is 6 times, or building towards 6 times a VO2 max mile rep. You did a 4-minute recovery here, longer reps, and you're building towards 808 to 758 per reps, essentially 50 to 60, right around there, 50 seconds faster per mile than marathon pace. And this is a good way of, essentially, you're getting close to 5K pace, okay? And if you can build towards that over time, you'll be in pretty good shape. So incorporating all these things into your marathon training, again, puts you in a position, or puts your athletes in a position to run their best when it counts the most. And that's the idea of the game. That's the name of the game, okay? Again, if you're a coach or an athlete and you have questions, reach out to me, blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. Or if you want to pursue a membership and you want to have direct access to me every month for live streams and Zooms and whatnot, we can break down your training, or the athletes that you're coaching training, whether they're training for the marathon or any event. We can break it down, and we can break it down every single month. We have, you get access to another one every month. You're a member, you have access to another, hour-long personalized Zoom call with me. So that's a perk of the membership as well. And obviously, you have access to more live streams, which I'll be doing every month now as well. And we'll just pick an event every month, and we'll do it. A live stream probably on a Saturday morning, if that works. But again, load up the comments with your feedback. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. And have a great week, everybody. I hope you found this helpful. Next up is going to be sub 330, and then we'll keep going further. So have a great week. Train smart, train hard. Peace.